Thank you, my colleagues who spoke for me. I really, and I love you all there. I love you. Gonna make me cry. I've loved serving in the Senate and the Assembly. It's given me the opportunity to work on all the issues I care most passionately about, coming from that heart. Income inequality, removing barriers for women so we can achieve economic and political equity, which we deserve, restoring fairness to our criminal justice system, reforming our criminal sentences so they're proportionate to the crime that was committed, and advancing California's leadership on clean energy and the climate crisis, and of course, housing, housing, housing. And from the time I was on the Berkeley Council, I tried to use the position that the voters gave me to accomplish policy that could make tangible improvements in people's lives and be a model and a catalyst, both nationally and globally. Always thought about that. I'm very proud that today, people who didn't commit murder in California do not have to serve lifetime sentences for felony murder. They don't. And access to police misconduct records is going to hopefully get us to the place where our communities and our police force, they trust each other. We need that. Without that, we won't have public safety. Our lights stayed on during this heat waves because back in 2010, when I was in the Assembly, my colleagues took the leap of faith when there was no utility-grade battery storage and passed AB 2514, and now California is the world's leader in battery storage. SB 330, the Housing Crisis Act, it enacted the very simple idea that housing applications that play by the rules should not face new obstacles or have to get delayed. So those changes and the many changes all of us made to the ADU laws, that's been the game changer in housing. We're actually building more units, like the one in my backyard. And if you've heard me talk about the student-athlete bill, you know that I was inspired by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who I've followed since he was Lou Alcindor playing on UCLA, and he talked about the incredible sums of money that colleges made off the backs of student-athletes, primarily, as my colleague from Gardena pointed out, Black student-athletes. A message that was reinforced to me then when I was at Cal by Dr. Harry Edwards. But I really couldn't imagine that I'd be able to, or we'd be able to, do anything about that. Yet, look what we did. Universal school meals, we did that through the budget. Momnibus, showing, making changes, acknowledging the fact that our Black women and their babies suffer much higher mortality rates. We did that in the budget also. Getting internet retailers to collect sales tax. Imagine what kind of revenue shortfalls we'd have if we didn't have that. The gun violence restraining order, a whole lot more I could go on or on my big top 10 list, but we'll let that go for now. I was especially proud to be part of a very coordinated efforts that many of my women colleagues here and who served with me in the past to increase the number of women in the legislature. And as has been mentioned, we did it. We did it. We started out with only about 20 or so when we got elected, many of us, and now we're at 50. Next year we'll be 58. Pretty soon, we don't want just parity, sorry, apologies, but you know, it's like, women, thank you, yeah. Anyway, I have to thank my incredible staff, and when I say staff, I'm talking all my district staff, my Capitol staff, my committee staff, both in the Senate and the Assembly. So many of them are here today. Again, I love you all. Thank you for trusting me, for being part of Team Skinner, for making me look good. These accomplishments took all of us. And we were aided by the very best district in the state. Sorry. expert and active constituents who brought us remarkable policy ideas and always had our backs, always. And I want to thank the Senate staff in all levels, leadership staff, desk staff, the secretary's staff, our sergeants, all of you for the support you've provided us. It's how we get what we do done. And as I've said many times, being in the legislature is a team sport. Thank you, colleagues, for being such good sports, for playing this game fairly, and putting your trust in me when I threw you a fastball. Our constituents want us to be leaders. They want us to be courageous. They want us to be bold, not just following, not just looking at what's popular, but being bold and taking the long view. So please do that. I'm counting on you, and thank you. I love you all.
Thank you so much, Senator Skinner. We love you too.